I'm going to sit and take a break. I'm nowhere near done. I've already filled the theaters at least twice already today. I think you can hear me. I'm not sure. But oh my. That's all I have to say is oh my. Let me know if you can hear me. And if not, I'll go back to work, which I've been doing anyways. Yes. Okay, good. Um, Thank you, John Ray Birds. My wrenches are here so they can take over from me. Connie Davison, member and a wrench, red base, a wrench out there, and they're the ones that are going to keep everybody under control. No, those are just if trolls come in or, well, we're really good. I think we're really good here. I thought I saw Barbara C. And Barbara C. Barbara C, I've been thinking about you, and I don't want to say I have a proposition, but there is something I want to talk to you about at some point. And but it's not on hummingbirds; it's on gardening. But hello to everybody. Gary's around here doing something. He wanted to work on a cement. He got almost he got a third of it done yesterday, and then it started pouring this morning. I didn't even know it was going to rain. But hello to everybody. It's going to be too hard to go through everything. This is no joke. I'm exhausted. For some reason, I couldn't sleep last night. I was still up at 3:30, but I got hooked into watching some stupid movie. It wasn't a stupid movie. It was actually a very good movie. And it was an old Hallmark movie about the little girl that raises this. Well, she didn't raise it. She found the swan eggs and come fly with me or something. I don't know. But it was a really good movie. So I got hooked on that. And then I've been doing a marathon of hummingbird feeders. I finished my pepper one this morning because Debbie Keller, I think it's you. Yes, you needed something on peppers, and there were other people asking too. The like I said in the video, I literally threw that together. No joke. Put your flower pots on your windowsill if you've got a windowsill, and water them twice a day with tap water that's on the warm side. And I'm telling you, they come up within 2 weeks, and you'll have a whole pot of them, and they're easy to separate, just like tomatoes or lettuce. Really, really easy. I think the warm water triggers them because they need warm. They need warmth. Peppers. And the other thing is, it does trigger. It triggers the seeds that it's the right time. Once they're up and running and growing, it doesn't matter. You don't have to water them with warm water, though I have found that if you continue with warm water, they grow quicker. But hello to everybody here. So, okay, I tapped something on my, okay. Um, Started working on a video that I was going to put up either today or tomorrow on the hummingbirds. See, I thought they were going to leave. And they keep coming. And I think what was frightening is I was watching something on YouTube last night, and then it went into my video. And I'm sitting there staring at it. This was before that movie I turned on. And it's like, uh-oh, that was 2 months ago. There were only two feeders out on the deck. And now in the one spot, and now I've got some 5 and 6. And I've been checking the cameras at night, and of course I look out the window, and every seat is full. Now we're going to be going into April, like fairly quick. They should have left, so I started doing research last night. They're not leaving. I don't think they're going to leave. I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, this is fine, but I'm hoping some will take off up north. I don't believe we're having a super bloom, and I'll see if I can get that video together tomorrow why we're not having a super bloom. Blooming, yes, but a super bloom. So that's it. Otherwise, everything's fine. My granddaughter's here with some friends, and they're running around the property, so the dogs keep barking, and they're doing their own thing. And like I said, we've been pouring all day, and that stopped Gary from doing his cement work, and I was going to go finish my turmeric and ginger, and I'll probably do it, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday, because they said rain tomorrow too. So I hope everybody's having a good day. I think Barbara C. Oh, no, I think you're still there. So I'll kind of message. Somehow I got to message you. I've got an idea. I could try to say hello to everybody, but I think I'll miss somebody and somebody will be upset. But Debbie Keller, hello. Tammy Price, hello. Cindy Warner, hello. I said hello to Connie. Janice Stram, Stramba. Hello, S. Bear from Fresno. Hello, Mr. Geek Me Out. What is the favorite part of feeding the hummingbirds? What is the favorite? I just love having the birds here. I mean, we don't vacation, so this is my de-stressor. And that's a good one. And it's really enjoyable. It is nice. They're amazing. This is nothing. As the sun goes down, it's black with hummingbirds. A little bit ago, I had the bullocks here, the Orioles, and the hoodeds, and they didn't leave. I'm sitting by the other deck, and they're on the other deck right now. The other side of the deck, I should say, where you can't really see. You can almost see it through the window. But they'll keep coming in. You'll see them. And the females, you see them right now. They're on top. That is a hooded, I believe. He just took off. And then there was, the females are coming in. I think they're going to nest in Gary's yard because I saw one. They've been going back and forth down in the Gary's yard, and they're probably going to go in the bananas or something. But they'll be everywhere. Let's see. DC, hello. S. Bear, I think I said hello to you already, but hello again. Barbara Butler from California. From California, hello. And how do I have that many? Janice wants to know. I'm going to say the more feeders I put out, and they know that there's plenty of food, the more come in. And when they are traveling by and they see this many and there's food everywhere, and we're putting out more flowers now, it doesn't even matter on the type of flowers, because if you get something like geraniums that really don't have much of anything, there's no nectar, there might be pollen, but not much. They still will hunt around the flowers because insects are going to be on there, tiny little fruit flies and stuff. They'll be picking off fruit flies. I have Kufias I've got all over here, and salvias I've been buying. There's just a lot of different flowers. We're putting up more and more flowers. We've got the emu bushes, the emu bush. We've got the yellow one, the red one, and the pink one, and that's in the bird garden, which is just to the right. So we have a lot of flowers. So between the flowers, between the hummingbird feeders, drinking water, and plenty of place to bathe, because they have to bathe multiple times a day. They get sticky and full of cobwebs, and they need a place to scrub. This is what brings so many. A lot. Cat Lady, hello from Burbank Airport. I remember Burbank Airport very well. I used to live not far from there. Tammy Price, hello. Elizabeth Mangold. Oh, this brings me such joy. And I know a lot of you are going to be getting hummingbirds really soon. Did I say hello to Barbara Butters? Yes, I think I did. Sherry, hello. Let's see, Cat Lady, I got you. Tammy Price. My kitten jumps straight to the TV when she hears Robbie's voice. Oh, that's so funny. That's Tammy Price, Elizabeth Mangold. This makes me wish I was living in your area instead of, Iowa. Let me tell you something. You're fine in Iowa. There's times I think about, I tell Gary, boy, we could live anywhere and I could garden in the house. I already have it all pictured in my mind, how I could just set up a garden anywhere. The property taxes here and taxes in general are just crazy lately. And they keep raising it. And so I don't know. It's tough. It's really tough. It is a beautiful place to live, but the weather is changing. It has been cooler. And that's funny that I'm going to stay here as long as I possibly can, which hopefully will be forever. But anyways, I can remember the climate when I used to live in Sunland years ago. And it was really cold. There were times it got down to 22 degrees in Sunland. I don't even think it gets that cold anymore. I used to wear thermal underwear in the winter. And then when I moved here, it was still cold in 88 because I was still wearing thermal underwear. I don't like the cold. But by 88, 90, about 90, I noticed the weather change. And that's when we went through a different weather pattern. So right now, we're constantly raining. We've had more rain than I've ever seen. So things do change. I know I'm going to miss people, and it's not on purpose. Tammy Price, Just use a transplant. um, Bobby in Missouri, hello. Barbara C, I already said hello to you. Trial and error, hello. And I think I got everybody. Chris, DECAMINADA. Let's see, they all get along well. They do. I get two that dive bomb each other. Try more feeders. If you actually know you have two, you may have more than two. Try 3 feeders because they can't protect all of them. And periodically here you'll have a Rufus come in or something and try to chase everybody away. If you give them, if you set up, like some people want to set up swings, if you set up these cute little perches, sometimes that causes problems too, I've noticed, because they'll find a perch and then they'll perch right next to the feeder and then the feeder becomes theirs. They have a cool place to sit and go after everybody. I mean, there are perches here, but just keep that in mind. If you notice they're perching really close, get rid of the perch and make them come in and eat. Parvin, Malachi, M-A-L-I-I-K, hi Robbie. What do you feed the Orioles? The same thing. I put out no jelly. I'm against that because the hummingbirds can get into it. They can't wash that off. The Orioles eat the same exact food. 1/4 cup of white granulated sugar, 1 cup of water, mixed well and dissolved and put out, and that's it, and they love it. And when they have babies, let's see, March, April, in about probably a month, some of them are going to start to have babies. They will come, I put a bowl out, there's a pizza bowl out there, you can barely see it. They will dip their insects. It's so funny. I've got videos of it. They dip their, if they find a worm or a grasshopper, they come and they dip it in the nectar, and then they go back to the nest and feed their babies. I don't know what that's all about, but that's what they do. It's really cute. Indiana, lovely, hello. Jane Knight from Corona, hello. Doggy royalty, yeah. Oriole was in the middle feeder. Some of the feeders have larger holes. I don't know what keeps scaring them. I wonder if my window's bending. No. I had my fan on all my plants before. I thought, no, it's off. And so I'm trying to train, it's not working. I'm trying to train the Orioles to stay on the outside so the hummingbirds can keep the window. The hummingbirds and the Orioles, it's okay, but the hummingbirds are not happy with the Orioles. They came in big time now, and the females are showing up more and more every day. So, like I said, hummingbirds are not that happy, but the Orioles are fine. But if I can keep them on the outskirts or more on the other side of the deck, then I'll have happier hummingbirds. Oh my gosh, we are so windy. We are windy, and like I said, it was pouring. We got blue sky right now. Even the solar fountains are running. Ellie Mae, 1984. Hi, Kelly. Hi. Happy spring. Yes. Jane Knight. Hi. Felice Green from Georgia. Hello. I could do this all day, couldn't I? But I see Ray Basin and John Ray's birds. There you're going through and saying hello to people too, so that's really good because I know I'm going to miss somebody. Julie R. Someone saw a hummingbird 30 miles south of me. I'm so ready to see my first one this year. They're going to be there. They can't all stay here, but I mean, there's tens of thousands of hummingbirds all over the United States, and they're moving in all different directions. So you'll see them. Oh, John, the goldfinch have molted into their summer plume. That's wonderful. I've noticed here they're really brightly colored too. I think your goldfinch might be different than ours. We have the lesser, and they're smaller, and they don't eat sunflower seeds. They're smaller and more dainty, but they have brightened up too. What I'm surprised about is some of the Orioles that showed up that look like females. Now I'm starting to really wonder about them. Oh, there's an Oriole in the back. Are not. They're actually males. So I'm trying to figure out if they're really young, because they should really be in pretty much full color, or if there's a mutation, a dilute. Because last year I was suspecting that some of them were dilute, which just means it happens in a lot of birds, like your budgies, your parakeets that are green, and then you got the blue. The blue is not the true color. I'm wondering if there is a dilute out there. So I'm kind of keep an eye on them this year, because I've seen Mockingbirds, I haven't seen them in a long time, and I never got a photo of them. Cinnamon ones. A lot of times they're taken out, though, by hawks because they stand out. A hawk will look at a whole group of birds, and if one looks different, that's the one they target on. That's why you don't see a lot of different, rare colors. Rochelle, hello, hello, everyone. It's my first time catching live, sending love. Well, welcome. Slingshot, good evening. Is it evening already? 3:30. I gotta go make dinner. And Rochelle is in Napa. Elizabeth, I said, I think I got everybody. Gina, Siska from Maryland. It would be evening where you are. And Julie R., we have the red-throateds. You know, that's one thing we do not have here. And the red-throateds are beautiful. I think they're also feisty like the rufus, too. KKL, how can I keep the raccoons out of my bird feeders? Any easy way. Are we talking bird feeders? Because John Ray does a lot of bird feeders. Or are we talking hummingbird feeders? There's always things you can build. You know, you're going to see me do, I just have so many, I'm like scatterbrained. I've got so many videos I want to do, and it's like, which one do I do today? I've been working with those clothes racks, and I absolutely love them. I made the most beautiful cover. I'm so excited. I was going to do the video today. I worked on it last night, and I showed Gary this morning. This is gorgeous. Anybody could do it. They won't even know it's a clothes rack. They can put it if they live in a homeowners association or anything. And then the kids came over, and they're running around. I thought, nah. And then it started pouring. I'll do it tomorrow. You can get one of those clothes racks from Walmart for $8, and you can fix it up and try to do it where the raccoons don't like it. Maybe put it in another spot. There's a lot of things you can do. I love the clothes racks. Let's see. Bird feeders. Okay. Well, John, do you have any ideas? I feed the raccoons, LOL. Boy, I'm telling you, I like the raccoons, but they have wreaked havoc on our ponds. And I want to clean the ponds out. I've got the 3 ponds in my yard, and Gary's got his own. The thing is, I can't go clean everything up that they've dumped because I'm going to have, let's see, we're in April, May, June. June, all the dragonflies are going to start coming out, and I don't want to disturb dragonflies, though I do know that that's probably why they're in there, because they would eat crawfish or crayfish. And they're looking in there for things to eat the raccoons, and that's why they go swimming in there. And so they're looking for the larvae, and I'm hoping, or larvae, and I'm hoping that they don't get them all. They won't get them all. They didn't last year. But I'm going to have to do something, because we're really not supposed to have raccoons here. We had them when I moved here in '88. They used to be all over the yard, and then they moved. Not me. The raccoons moved into the city. They had more food in the city. My parents live in Los Angeles, like right in LA by the Grove, that area, and they have tons of raccoons. Why? In the middle of the city, crossing roads and everything, because there's more food there. But here, somebody, you know the story probably, one of my dear neighbors down the hill dumped them all here. He brought them over from Pico Rivera and drove them all the way over here and left them in my yard. So all he gets out of me right now when he sees me is hello. And it's a very low hello. They weren't supposed to be here. It's not just me. My neighbor, I've got 2 neighbors that are upset because they have koi, and they've lost all their koi because of the raccoons. So we'll see what happens, but they're here. Oh, Ray, take the bird feeders in at night and keep the raccoons from eating them. That makes sense, and that's the same thing with some of you, I know you're not here right now, that have bears. You said you can't feed the hummingbirds because the bears come in the evening and drink all the nectar. Just take them in at night and put them out in the morning. And raccoons love to eat my worms. Interesting. John, I had a pet raccoon. It's been many, many, many years. Don't they eat snails too? Because I also had a pet skunk. I used to work with skunks, and they loved snails. I love my skunks. They get in the garden and they eat up all the snails they can reach. Do they also eat snails, raccoons? I'm asking you because you may know. You can also trap the raccoons, Gina's saying. Yeah, I don't really want to go that far yet. I'm hoping they'll move into the city with the other ones. It's like we had to go to my granddaughter's school one day, and they were telling Gary and I that they've got skunks there. They don't understand. At the school in the city. I said, that's because there's food here. They're not going to hurt anybody. They found holes underneath the building to sleep in, and they're there because they're trying to get away from the coyotes. So I love my skunks. Okay, Rochelle said, I would not be surprised. They love human garbage. Piso, they eat everything. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I only had a raccoon for a short time, and then I turned it over to somebody that was actually, years ago, people used to raise them. I gave him away to somebody that could do more with him than me. So, not that many birds right now. In about, let's see, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, they start coming in. You get them in waves because, let's see, it's not raining right now, so they can go back out and forage. Then when it starts raining, they all come in because they're not stupid. They don't want to forage in the rain, so then they all come in. So, let's see, Melinda, where be you? No, where be you? I like that. Yeah, I've got squirrels. I've got a tree squirrel, and I don't mind the tree squirrels. Not crazy about the ground squirrels. I try to set up the feeders either on sticks I'm trying to set up my feeders in the bird garden differently. So if a raccoon, or not a raccoon, if a squirrel can get into one, he can't get into another. Same thing like the spice finches. We now have dozens and dozens of spice finches. We started with like 2, and then we had the pintail whiters because they're being raised by the spice finches. Um, Gary was concerned because we now have doves. We went from like 1 or 2 to, oh my gosh. So I'm covering some of the feeders. So when the spice finches come in, the doves can't get into some of the feeders. So they always know that there's food there. Oh, how funny. The squirrels, John is saying, I have squirrels planting black walnuts in the yard. That is funny. You know what the squirrels do here? They're taking bird seed. You'll see it in Gary's wood chips and everything. And you'll see piles of, it looks like grass coming up, but it's the bird seed. And they're digging holes and they're burying the millet and all that. And it's growing like mad. That's why I get millet all over the yard, because they're burying it, not me. Martinza, Maritza, yarn and crafts. Helloa, helloa. Um, Julie R., I'm infested with squirrels. Any UFO sightings? Colleen's asking. I haven't seen any. Maybe you can move them. If you gave them a bowl, like we have a rabbit that comes in, which is Notch, and he's got a bowl, he or she. So he only goes to that bowl, and sometimes you can move birds by giving them someplace that they like and they become familiar with. I don't know, you can try it. I have a scrub jay I have many scrub jays that come into the bird garden. So I've now kind of trained them that this one bowl on this rack has peanuts in it and then their food, and it's working. They come in and they go to that bowl because they scare the other birds. So maybe you can work on something where they come in and they know, oh, there's peanuts in here and sunflower seeds and whatever you think they'll eat. And then maybe you can direct them to another bowl and keep the other birds happy. It's quiet out there. You know what's funny is sometimes I'll walk out there and there'll be no birds, and just walk out there, and then all of a sudden they all come. They just all come in. It's like, oh, she's there. Maybe she's put something else out. See, now we have sun. It's been pouring. I should go do the other feeders. Because this is really nothing compared to what we've been having at night. Oh, Bobby in Missouri has chipmunks and blue jays, and they love wild hazelnuts. Interesting. Gary saw his first chipmunk. He said when he went, I think he said when he went to the Grand Canyon. He was amazed by them. He thought they were so cute. Gina, you've got the black and the gray squirrels here in Maryland. You know, we've got the gray and I think it's a red one called the fox squirrel. We have both of those. You don't see the gray one that often, but we do have them. Trial and error. How often do you wash your feeders? Very good question. I take them in. If I did them in the morning, if I already washed them when I first did them whenever they were empty, I wash them all the time. I mean, it doesn't matter if I take the feeders in 3 times a day. I wash them in the sink with warm water. If if it looks like it could use a little more scrubbing, I have toothbrushes there and a mascara brush, and I will go through and a sponge designated for the hummingbirds. And if it looks like it's dirty, I just put a little tiny bit of dish soap on it. Just scrub the whole thing down inside and out, rinse it really good, and I do it. I pretty much do it every time I bring in a feeder, is what it is. So it's being washed multiple times a day. If I see mold or something, I scrub it off. I always use the mascara brush in the holes. I know there's been some things out there saying you don't need it. You need it. You need it. Because even if you washed it with vinegar, it would be like if you had mold in your house and you washed it with vinegar, it can grow back. Not because the mold you missed, the mold will be killed by vinegar, but it can come back because that's the way mold is. So I wash them. I wash them every time I bring them in. I don't disinfect them, but if I want to, I could disinfect them with a little bleach and water solution once a week. But they're really washed every day, so they're good. Every time I bring them in, I just wash them. Praying mantis, Rochelle. I don't think our praying mantis, I got to say this carefully because I don't know. I don't think our praying mantis here would go or could get a hummingbird because ours here are quite small. Though I've seen some odd behavior starting last year on some of them, and that is kind of making me a little leery of them. I don't kill them, I move them. I actually had a praying mantis in the winter, I think it was out, and it was on one of my bird feeders out my window. I'd never seen a praying mantis on a bird feeder before here. It wasn't real big, but it was big enough to have Gary, hey, get this thing out of here, and he grabbed it and took it out to the garden. And I have seen them hanging around before. I don't know if they would actually go after a hummingbird. I know the bigger ones can and do, so if I see them, I move them. John Ray, raised birds, no praying mantis allowed in my yard. You probably have bigger praying mantis than us. Ours are really small. They're only 2 inches. But I don't know. You know, I know I used to see them in Vegas, and those are a little bit bigger. But I move them. If I see them, I move them, and I keep an eye out for them. Okay, so Juliar relocates them. That's what I do. Okay, you have the giant praying mantis. I moved them down the road. Are they the ones like people used to say, they're going to the farm? um, yeah, we don't have that. I have ever seen giant praying mantis. Though we're supposed to have tarantulas, and I have never seen a tarantula yet. I don't know why. I talked to the people that used to live here, and not that long ago, and I remember he said to me, "So what did you think of the what do you call it? The tarantulas running up and down the driveway?" I've never seen one, and he couldn't believe it. He goes, "When they moved out, they were still up and down the driveway. I don't know why, but I never saw them, so I don't know why I have not seen any tarantulas here." But the giant praying mantis, yes, they could get a hummingbird. Let's see. Par. Hi, Par. Another wrench and a member. I just found a praying mantis egg. So in other words, what you found was an egg sac, and in the egg sac you can have tons of eggs in there. You know, people buy those and put them out. It depends on what type of praying mantis you've got. Keep an eye out. The only thing I can say is if you've got hummingbird feeders and you see them hanging around, just move them. That's all you can do. Oh my gosh, John, 12 to 13 inches long? No, no, no. Like I said, ours are like 2 and 3 inches. Oh, I think I would be running. I know my neighbor would be screaming. Oh my gosh. Slingshot. Oh, you're asking red base. Okay, good. Do you think it's too early to plant seeds and pots for flowers in the area? I just want to get them going, but I'm afraid they won't survive. Okay, well, they directed it to you, red. I would say, I would personally say, I don't know where you are, but just plant. I'm starting now. Put it in a pot. You can always move it more in the sun. And create microclimates and then move it where you want once it takes off. Gosh, I can't believe that. 12 to 13 inches. I think I would be doing something else besides garden. I don't even know if I garden with something like that. I'd be going out there with a netted hat and gloves and oh my gosh. You know what I don't like? I don't like our fruit beetles we've got here. And with our climate changing here, we haven't had that many. When I first moved here back in '88, there would be all over the place. Oh my gosh, I'd be screaming, running through the house, trying to get into the house. And we don't have that many anymore. The weather's changed. It's gone from being so warm and dry to being damper. That last year I only saw a few, literally a few. Let's see. April 8th, Colleen, is it Geis? I haven't heard about that. Gary usually keeps up with that. Double moon eclipse. I'll have to look into that. Michelle Mason, I bet all the birds also help keep insects and spiders under control. Yes, that's why we don't have to use any pesticides. We've got all the birds coming in, and they eat a lot of your little insects in the garden off. They're wonderful. The birds are absolutely a dream. All of them, all of them. We've got a wren nest. I found it yesterday. I have not looked inside. Gary asked me to go look. I said, no, I didn't want to bother him because she came out of the nest and she started screaming at me. And I looked a couple weeks ago and I found leaves and stuff in there. And they are just ferocious eaters. They get into the garden and go in between all the leaves, and they're just wonderful for eating insects. I am going to make them a tote, and that will be by my chair garden because they're under the pepper tree where I believe the Cooper Hawks may have hatched out their first baby already, just a guess. And I'm going to put a tote there and I'm going to compost there, and that will bring in more insects. Anemone, Hayward, I can't wait to get hummingbirds here in Missouri. Also the Orioles, they should be there pretty soon. I mean, we're in spring now. I know that there's some really bad weather back east, so it depends on their flight path on a lot of birds. Linda Hernandez, hello. Eclipse is going over towns unnamed, starting on the 8th. I didn't even know about the eclipse, so I'll have to ask Gary about that. I'm going to go fill up a few more feeders. It got very quiet out there. It got quite bright outside. I'll check the battery life on my phone. And I think I hear some fountains rattling out there that may be out of water. They get in there, some of the birds, and they splash so much they splash the water out. It's so pretty and green outside. Chris, there was ice out this morning in Ohio. Wow. Alexandra Rose, beautiful, thank you. Oh, Par, Robbie, I'm about to start some more peppers using your method. They come up like mad. I'm going to grow, I think this year I will be growing more peppers. I usually grow my black cobras, which are really hot, so I throw one of those in. And then I grow Fresnos, which are a medium heat. They're not really that hot, but they're nice. And then I grow the Italian sweet peppers. They look like hot peppers, but they're not hot. But I am growing a bell pepper on my deck. I don't even know where it came from because I can't remember growing any. And yet I've got a yellow bell pepper. We've been picking them. On the deck, it grew all winter because it's in a microclimate. And then I don't know what I've got on my windowsill anymore. I thought they were going to be Fresnos and sweet peppers, but there's like 30 of them in there. And then I've got a shoebox. No, no, I should have a shoebox. I have a pencil box full of peppers, so I'm going to move those around. But I think I want to do some more bell peppers. I picked up some purple bells at the 99-cent store the other day, and I think I'm going to grow more bell peppers this year and go that way. And if I keep some seeds and they cross-pollinate it, that's okay too. Par, Robbie, I grow hot peppers like your daughter. Oh gosh, does she grow a ton of them. In fact, Donald, her husband, said, enough is enough. They still have so many, but she still bought a bunch of hot peppers at the 99-cent store. When we were there, I called her and told her she drove all the way out there. And they love their hot peppers. And they freeze them. They have bags of them. So they have a lot of hot peppers. And she grows an amazing amount. And Linda Hernandez, I like the jalapenos. I used to like a lot of hot when I was a kid. I don't know. I just don't eat a lot of hot, but I don't think I mind it. But I like I said, I have the black cobra, and they're really hot. Oh, John, I planted hot peppers by bell peppers, and they were hot. Interesting. Rochelle, I live in zone 10A. But remember, you can create microclimates. I create microclimates all summer and grow lettuce. And now I've got my other lettuce. I've got to find where I'm going to put it. The ones I dropped the other day, oh my gosh. Every single one is making it, and I didn't plan on that many. But I just grow. If I want something, I just grow. Like I said, I grew bell peppers on the deck all winter, and they're still growing. The plant looks terrible now, but I think if I do a good trimming on it and then freshen up the soil, it'll probably come back for the spring and summer. Let's see, I think I missed something. Oh, I did. Let's see. Last frost date, April 15th, for slingshot. Yeah, you know it's going to be April 15th before we know it. Okay, Linda, I live in 9A. Well, you should be able to grow lettuce and different things. We get warmer here, is what we get. Never too late. You're right. Yeah, you just move things around and create microclimates. I don't remember if it was you, Debbie Keller, if you're still there. Somebody said they can't grow tomatoes. They read the package. Have you ever read the package? Like, go buy a bunch of seed or go to the store and read the seed packets on the back. Sometimes I think they're putting the same information on all of them. Grow in pots if you really have problems growing certain things and move them. Move them where it needs to be moved. I'm going to need to check my screen. I think the screen is blowing and scaring the hummingbirds. Move them around. Decide on certain things that you absolutely want to do. I'm going to grow start my first zucchini. I would have done it today, but it was pouring. And I'm going to grow it where people are going to think I'm crazy. I'm going to grow it on the deck, and then I'll get some more growing. Let's see, Rochelle. I just discovered that I live in 9A. I'm sorry, yeah, 9A, 9B, and 10A. Very cute. Oh, Melinda Roth, you can't hear me? You should be able to hear me. I'm sitting right next to a microphone. Sorry. But that's okay. Don't you want to hear the birds? The red base. I remember when my daughter made a snowman on the sidewalk. Let's see. KKL. Can I grow more than one pepper in a 5-gallon bucket? Yeah. It depends on the pepper, but my pizza garden, those buckets usually have no more than 3. They're a little more forgiving. You can put 2 to 3 in a bucket without a problem because they're not, I'm going to say they're not as heavy feeders as the tomatoes. Tomatoes are heavier. So I've never had any problems with them that way. Oops. So I just turned something in on my computer. Anyways, I don't see why you can't put up to 3. I wouldn't do more than 3, but 2 would be better. If you were telling me or asking me about a zucchini, 1 zucchini to a 5-gallon bucket, but peppers should be fine. And then you've got some people in here answering you, so that's good. Lisa McBaron. Oh, did you hear me fine? Okay. Colleen, is it Geis? It might be Geis. Your property looks worth millions. I'm so happy for you. Uh, Lions of Patho, psychopaths, to hummingbirds heaven. Ha! Lines. Okay. Okay, you can hear me fine. I want to go check my window. I'm gonna go check some feeders on the deck. So talk among yourselves. You are banging. Let me check some of the feeders, guys. See, I can. There's a little bit in here. I could put another one here. Where is everybody? It's a beautiful day right now. So let's wash another feeder. I'm gonna fix this so it doesn't bang. Windy. So windy. Let's see if we can fix this. Stop the banging. Okay, that'll work. Christopher, you see the birds? Where'd they go? Where'd they go? Wow, it is windy. Where'd the birds go? I gotcha. Okay, so we got good food in here. We got good food in here. Got, one is low there. Okay, we're good. Maybe I should put another feeder there. Yeah. Let me see. Just go there. Yeah. All right. shut the window. You see if there's any other feeder I have to change in here. And then I can shut the window because it's blowing back and forth. See if this will be good. Put a different one there. Sorry guys, you're gonna have to move for one more minute. Let me shut the window so the stream won't keep hanging. A little bit in that one. That was fun. I have missed everything. I've been doing feeders. I have to go make more formula because they're going to come in really heavy in the next, it's 4:30 already. 5:30 to 6 they start really coming in. I see hearts. Let's see. Mama Bear Thrives. Hello. See, I look at this. This is terrible. I look at this and I think, oh, I should shut the camera off. It's boring. Because this is nothing. It's when you got every feeder with the seats full, and then you go, oh my gosh. That's why I've got to get more feeders up in a few minutes. I'm just reading some of the comments. I've never seen an albino in person. Have you ever seen one at the zoo?
No, we saw a pie.
Oh, we've had pieds here.
Yep.
Yeah, and I never got a good photo of it. It's very faint. But I've never seen an albino. John is telling you hello.
Hello, John.
Oh, Mark is there. Hello, Mark. Mark with all the peppers. You're going to have to yell because you're across the room, Carrie. Grace in the garden must be there too. Oh, yeah, she is. 3 more weeks till Grace starts getting hummingbirds. Maybe. Keep an eye out because the Orioles sure came in early this year, though I will say the numbers have just exploded on them now. Yeah, I look at this, it's like, there's nobody there. And there's an Oriole in the back. Not in the back. Well, actually, it's on the clothes rack. Trying to keep them off the window. That's my goal. So this way, when they spook the hummingbirds will dive into the window. I have seen them go into the window, but not that often. John said his brown thrashers are back. Is that like our California thrashers?
No, ours look unusual. His looks very pretty. Like
Oh.
It's a real nice looking bird.
And ours has that weird beak.
Yeah, the one beak.
Every time I think of hot peppers, she thinks of Mark Oliver. He says it's a little different. Yeah, he's answering you. It's a little different. Ours is just an odd bird, so vocal and loud, beautiful song, but so odd that the beak is shaped that way, I guess, to get into fruit. And I would think nuts, pine cones, can it get it?
I don't know, but with a beak like that, it can get into small spaces for sure.
Yeah, it's a really odd beak. Yeah, he said, yeah, our thrashers have that really long curled beak. You should see them eat figs. Oh my gosh, their whole beak goes into a fig and they just tear it to pieces. Par says the Orioles show up before the hummingbirds here. Wow. And Bob in Missouri says hello. You know, I can leave you the mic and I can run. I want to run into the garden. I know you're eating. You're eating chips. You're ruining your dinner. Oh, Mark Oliver is driving home from work. You work with all those peppers? You sound like I thought you were selling peppers. Wow. Barbara C, she's saying hi, Gary. Do you make biochar?
No,
You're gonna have to come. You're gonna here. I'm gonna give Gary the mic so you can, and then you can eat your chips later. You don't need chips. And move your phone.
yeah, I came in to eat some chips. I've made biochar in the past, but I haven't made it for a few years.
Hello, Jujubee. 2 barrels for $20.
Yeah, that's a good use for mesquite. I can imagine it's kind of something that you really sort of would have a lot of in Arizona.
Check it. If it suddenly goes off, it's my battery's off, and she'll check my phone.
The dragon fruit cutting, I think it's finally set root. So I've got it in soil, and if I jiggle it around it doesn't want to shift anymore. So I think I've finally got it to set root. It hasn't started any new growth or anything, but it hasn't changed, put it that way. There's no physical change on the outside. It hasn't dried up anymore. So I think it's going to be okay. I'll just have to wait and see on it. Okay, Barbara C's got 50 plus mesquite trees.
Oh my God. Okay, Cara is saying her Orioles come 2 weeks earlier before the hummingbirds. That's amazing.
And that's probably Baltimore Orioles.
Oh, maybe so. We have the two. The tanagers, I wouldn't consider the tanagers an Oriole, but we've got the bullocks, which are here. They were in the window before. They saw them. And and she's got the Baltimore. Cara's
Yep.
got the Baltimore.
I think you can eat the pods on mesquite. Okay, yes, Baltimore.
Those are beautiful. They're all
I think they're as hard as a rock, but I think people make flour out of them. I'm not 100% sure on that. Got some memory of seeing that somewhere.
You know what? I might freshen up. Oh, I'll be right back. Might freshen up something out there now that it doesn't look like it's going to rain.
Okay, it makes good flour. Yeah, good gluten-free flour. Yeah, I think there was a guy a few years ago in Tucson that had a mill that he would go around busting up the mesquite pods to make flour. I think he was a permaculture guy. I don't know if he's still around. Okay, not sure since the pandemic.
I'm gonna run outside in a minute again. Sit for a second. Are you done outside? You done?
Yeah, I'm done outside.
Ray's got company.
Okay.
John Ray. Bye. Have a wonderful evening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Goodbye, John. Thanks for moderating.
Bye bye, John. Oh, Elizabeth. Hello, Elizabeth.
Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Red Base. Yeah, thanks, Trial and Error. It's getting there. I'm still working on it, so I think it's nice now, but it's going to be nicer, as time goes on.
Oh, wow. Car found a modern butterfly that was tagged. It was a stick. They were tracking the migration.
Yeah, we saw a show called Texas Country Reporter, and it was on RFD TV few years ago, and there's some women in Texas that catch monarchs and put stickers on them.
Mona's got hello Mona. Mona's got a question for you.
Okay. What are you planting your Chayote in? I'm planting them, some of them I'm planting straight into the soil, and others I'm going to plant in shoe boxes indoors. So I'm just going to put the base where the roots and the shoots come out. So it's got a fatter end and a narrower end. So I'm just going to stick the narrower end into the soil, and that way it'll set root. You don't have to bury the whole fruit, just the bottom part. In fact, if you bury the whole fruit, you're more likely to have rotting issues. So last year I just buried half of it, and this year I'm just dropping the bottom into the soil.
Okay, it was a sticker part found on it. She messaged them. Mona's in San Diego, so she should be able to grow that.
Oh yeah, you should be able to grow them well down in San Diego. They grow well here, so they would grow well down there.
And she said, I just transplanted on, I guess into larger containers.
Yeah. Yeah, mine that I planted outside are doing okay. We're in zone 10A, so you're probably in zone 10-2, I'm thinking. I'm not sure if there's any zone 9s in San Diego. So they could go out pretty much any time, and they do transplant pretty well.
Okay, wait a minute. Read what Mona just wrote. Can you read it? They start to vine and then they die off, so I'm not doing something right. Maybe burying it too deep, keeping it too wet. You have yours
Okay.
now in containers or in straight in the ground?
Some of mine are straight into the ground. If the bottom part where they start to shoot from, if that doesn't touch soil, they will just continue to vine without setting any roots. But fairly quickly, if you put if you cover the base of it where the vine's coming out with soil, then it will start to set roots. If that makes any sense.
It sounds like it's drying. If it's drying, if it starts vining. Maybe it's too soon. Maybe she's putting out. You wait to put, yours falls to the ground and grows.
Well, the ones that fell off my plant, they haven't set root. They've just started to vine.
Har just got some sharpened melon seeds. I hope you can hear me. I'm across the room. I am using it all the time now. I finally got used to it and I'm using it. And that's why I'm not going to dig it out of the truck bed. I'm going to let it do its thing, and I threw flower seeds in there. If they grow, they grow. But the shark fin melon has been amazing because it grew all winter too. You had them in the winter growing some, a few here and there, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got them. I've got fruit on my plants now.
No, I didn't. There's no recipe. I'm using them as if they were zucchini. The same way I use zucchini is the way I use them. No, she can hear me. She said she can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. Gary's trying to reach across. I'm going to run into the garden for a minute, and I'll be right back. Are you okay here?
Yeah, I do need to get a drink though.
I'll go get some water, and then I'll take off. Yeah, red. I don't know why I had a problem with it. And I think it was odd. I don't like I'll be honest with you, it's crazy. I don't like the name of the fruit. It's like naming a book, and if you don't like the title, sometimes you won't pick it up. Or you don't like the thumbnail, you won't open a video. I don't like the name of the fruit, but I did try it a couple times. I wasn't happy with it. And then I ran out of zucchini this year, and I thought, it's during the winter, I'm going to just go for it. I found out I can peel it, I can work with it. I'm saving some of the seeds out of them right now as I eat them, and I'm just getting used to using them. I'll talk about it more and more now. Do a tutorial how to cook them. I could do that one day.
Yeah, they're very similar to winter melon. Winter melon is I believe it's a type of gourd too. That's just it's similar but different.
Well, it throws me when I hear gourd, shark fin melon, or big leaf gourd. Sometimes that's why they name a lot of these fruits these exotic, beautiful names, and then the fruit isn't that good. So tomatoes or some stuff. I think it needs a different name.
Yeah. If trial and error, if your mother made winter melon soup, then shark fin
Shark fin melon?
shark fin fig leaf gourd or
Oh.
shark fin melon, you would be able to use it exactly in the same way.
So Elizabeth's got a bad back. My daughter's got a bad back. And I'm assuming you're going to be doing container. Yep, this container gardening. Yes, if you can get them on chairs, get them up on something. Anybody can garden. People with wheelchairs are gardening. I can't bend that much myself a lot, and it really helps 100%. And the garden is just as good. In fact, container gardening, you have full control over your garden, where you don't have full control in the ground. I don't expect farmers to do that. It would be next to impossible. But for the average person that's trying to grow food for 2 to 10 people, it's easy. Very easy. Yeah. I'm going to take a walk. Do you need my tablet, or are you using your phone?
I'm using my phone.
Do you want the tablet?
I don't know. It might be easier.
Here. And I'll be back. I need to check my garden. I want to say hello to Bridget.
Thanks, trial and error. Yeah, the chickens and the guineas are doing well. The guineas have started to lay. I don't think I'll be hatching anything again this year, or I might skip a year. I've got enough chickens and I've got enough guineas. The chayote produced fruit the first year, especially in zone 10A. It's perennial. We had a mild winter, and it's producing. It's flowering right now, but it's not quite setting fruit. The fruit's dropping off. And I think it might be either the weather or it's not. They're not getting pollinated because right now we don't have that many bees. I lost my beehive last year, and I don't think we have as many bees in our area as I thought we did. Actually, we've lost 2 beehives, I should say. There was one in the tree out front that had to be removed when they cut the tree down, they had to remove the beehive. So we are short on bees. So I think they're not getting pollinated right now, and it might be too cool for the bees to be out, but they are very productive. They'll produce the first year, and if you leave them in the ground, they produce a storage tuber, and the tuber will come back with a lot of vigour the second year, and I think they can live for at least 3 or 4 years. One of mine, actually a couple of mine, got dug up by my dogs, and I stuck the stem back into the ground hoping that it would survive, and one of them did, and it didn't produce fruit last year. It's still growing, so it's been growing for a year now and it hasn't produced fruit. But it got set back over summer when I left my dogs in the yard, in my garden, and I came up to the house for a moment and went back down, and they decided to dig a nice little bed in my Chayote arbour, and they dug it up because the soil was soft and it was damp and it was a hot day, and they just made themselves comfortable. But I've got hope for that one to produce flowers and fruit this year. Yeah, they do need to be pollinated, red base. They do attract a lot of bees when we have bees around. There's always bees working them. Yeah, they cook all sorts of things. See what Dano cooks. Robbie does a lot of the cooking, but certain times of the year I'll make pizzas, I'll roast chickens. Yeah, I guess I pretty much cook anything and everything. Yeah, I pollinate my dragon fruits. I go out at night when the flowers open up, and I use I'm trying to think a keyboard vacuum for a computer, and I collect the pollen, put it in a little ramekin, and then I go through with a brush, like a small fine paintbrush, and I hand pollinate them that way. Yeah, the mini vacuum, you can collect a lot of pollen, pretty much all of the pollen out of the flower when you've got one of those. And that's been a really good find. I think there's a Vietnamese woman involved with the dragon fruit um, people. I think she came up with it. Yeah, trial and error. We do have a couple of videos when we're pollinating dragon fruit. I think we might have done a couple of live videos too. Yeah, my back room's going really well. I've got a ton of stuff in there right now. It's kind of, I'm running out of counter space, I guess, because I've got a lot of dragon fruit cuttings and different things set up. I've got a couple of squash plants going. I've got some kabocha squash started. I haven't really started much else. I've got about half a dozen ice cream bean trees in my back room that I want to get out and planted this year. But where I want to plant them, I need to get water to the area, because I'm going to move my bananas away from where I've got them, because the soil is too shallow. And I've got a nice microclimate kind of in the valley, um, sort of below Robbie's garden. It heats up during the day and it stays warm into the evening. So I want to get some more trees and bananas and stuff planted down there. The only issue I've got right now is there's no running water down there, and I want to get running water established before I can start planting down there. Okay, Mona, in 10B you should do well with them. It might still be a little too cool at night for them. And that possibly is why the leaves are turning brown. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, red base. Our highs this coming week will be upper 60s into low 70s, and I guess high 40s into the 50s. Yeah, Robbie, let's see. Uh, Living Samsara. The hummingbirds do feed on, Robbie will know more about it than me, but I do see the hummingbirds feeding on the red geraniums. I don't know if they're getting much out of them. I only know the plants that I grow, and I grow a lot of cannas. The more of the wild type cannas, the edulis, the edible one, and they've got nice, good flowers on them, and the hummingbirds really like them. The ornamental or cannas that are grown for really sort of large flowers, they're not as good as the ones that have the smaller flowers. So I've got a ton of cannas, and they just keep coming up from seed, and if they're in my way, I just start moving them around. So I've got them everywhere now. And that's possible they might be after insects when they're pecking around the geraniums. Although geraniums tend to not have a lot of bugs on them. Yeah, cannas are a plant that can be grown pretty much anywhere. If you're in a cool climate, you can dig the corms up during the winter and store them in a frost-free environment and replant them when the weather warms up again. Yeah, high cone flower. Now that's up to you.
I'm making dinner.
Okay.
I'm making coleslaw. Out of cone. And then I gotta go back and eat my hummus.
Okay, good evening, Lisa. Enjoy your dinner.
It's cold out there.
Yeah, we just got a big wind gust come through.
Oh, it's cold. And it's so cold they could install the water pipe, the hose.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes, Mona, the leaves, pretty much everything on the Chayote is edible. The shoots, uh, I like eating the shoots. The larger leaves I don't really eat, but if I'm trying to weave it through my arbor, sometimes they break off, so I just eat the shoots. They're probably better cooked, but you can eat them raw or cooked. Okay, thanks Elizabeth. Living Samsara. Yeah, I've got tons of nasturtiums all through my yard. The hummingbirds do feed on it. It's not as popular as some of the other flowers, but they will feed from it, or at least I've seen them feeding from it. Yeah, we recently got some scarlet sage and we've got some red ones and some purple ones. And I plan on planting some of that in my garden. Salvia. Okay, it's scarlet salvia we got. Yeah, nasturtium is very peppery. It tastes like watercress. Yeah, the nasturtiums, if you've got something to vine them on, they will climb. And if you have a way of kind of holding them up a tree, they would certainly take off up a tree. Yeah, another salvia type plant that I grow in my garden is chia seeds, and they come up every year. And the hummingbirds feed on those too. They've got a nice purple flower, purple blue flower. Yeah, chia seeds. You can buy those anywhere, and they're fairly easy to grow. They do like warm weather. Okay, good evening, Grace in the garden. Enjoy your new puppy. The chia seeds that you buy to eat, we've planted ours. That's how we got ours started. We bought them to eat, and then we planted some. Yes? Oh, and we kept our chia seeds in the freezer and they still germinated. Okay, DC started their chia inside this year because they've got a short growing season. Thanks, Pa. Yeah, one of the beauties of chia seeds, you can often find them in like a bulk bin, and you only need a few. So it wouldn't cost you a lot of money just to get a few fresh seeds. Yeah, Colleen, I prefer the grapes with the seeds too. The grapes that I bought from Home Depot are probably seedless. I can't remember exactly whether they are or not. But we have an old grapevine in another part of our yard that produces seeds, and I think they taste better, and the seeds are probably healthier to eat.
Gary,
Yes.
my battery's dying. It just let me know that phone's going to die in a minute. Is there anything else? You can come in the kitchen and say goodbye. The phone's going to go in a minute. You can just sit that down. I'm back. I've been everywhere. I've been in the garden. I just made coleslaw. Somebody next door needed an onion. I ran over to give them an onion. But my battery is dying. I don't know who else is here. And I know I can't stay on till it gets dark. I'll have to do it next time a little later. I didn't even know what time it was. It was so dark. I didn't realize it was after 2. Anything else you want to say?
No, that's
I
it.
made your green drink. Do you want it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm here. I've been running all over. I just made a green drink. You can't see it. There it is. Oh, I'm gonna drop the camera. Here, I just drank it. A whole thing of it. This is not a real green drink. It's a double thing. I make a coleslaw and then I have the water left over. You don't want to hear it. But anyways, there's blood oranges in there too, and it's got kale, mostly tree colored, and then some purple types of kale in there. So anyways, I'm going to have to get off because my battery is almost dead. You've been talking. You have anything else to say? And because we're not going to be dark for another couple hours probably. I don't even know what time it is. You know what time it is? That clock doesn't work in the kitchen.
5:30.
It's 5:30, 6:30. The birds stay here till 7:30, so they're starting to come in more and more now. But I'm going to sign off, and I can't think of anything else. I don't know who's there because I've got a glare on the window. Anything else you have
No,
to say?
there's been a lot of people there, and I'm actually thinking more about flowers. Different
Well,
flowers.
if you want to talk,
No,
I'll switch phones. I'll get off of this. If you got more to say, or I
No,
can
I
put a
haven't got-
battery
no, I
pack
haven't
on
got
this.
more to
No, I
say.
can't put a battery pack on this
it's just
because
there's been a conversation about different flowers for hummingbirds. And I'm just,
it's windy. Because I'd have to switch phones because there's a mic, and I can't have the mic and the plug at the same time. See, there's
Yep.
no place to do that. So I'd have to switch phones. You want to keep talking?
no,
He's tired. Are you tired?
yeah, I'm tired.
Okay, we'll do it a little later next time. And like I said, I didn't even know what time it was because it's been so dark and raining. And now the sun is out and it's beautiful. I went to the garden and I freshened up some of the ponds and did everything. Let me see if there's anything else. I don't like sticking my face in the camera. Where is it? Gary ran to go get the tablet. We're going to talk about... We are going to... You wanted to talk about flowers. If you want, I'll switch phones.
No,
He says no.
no, I said we have been.
Oh, you have been.
talking
Okay,
about
so we
flowers.
could do this again. And I guess that's it. Anything else you want to say? Rochelle says it's been nice chatting. Zoe's on my foot. I want to thank all my wrenches, nasturtiums you've been talking about, and chias and stuff. And thank all my moderators, and my moderators are thanking the moderators too, and everybody.
No, that's it.
That's it. Okay, so I'll turn you around and then I'll say goodbye. You can see the hummingbirds. It's kind of still a little slow because the sun came out now, so now they're going to be out there looking to see if there's any flowers. They don't want to be in the rain either. They don't mind the rain. The rain rolls off, but they're lazy too because they can come here and sit under all the shelters I built, and then when the rain goes, they go back out and forage wherever they want to forage. But they'll start coming in probably in the next hour, really heavy. If you're in the mood to talk, I can turn you back on in an hour if you want to talk. He's talkative. Let me tell you a secret. When he gets tired, you know, he's really a quiet guy. And then I was somewhere a while back, or years ago, he was talking a mile a minute like me and just talking. Wow, I didn't know he can do this. And then I found out when you're tired, you talk more.
Yeah, I do. Well, I could go either way.
He's not drunk. He doesn't drink. He just gets tired, and then he starts blah, 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 and it starts coming out. It's like, wow! I have to wait till you're tired to have a good conversation with you.
If I'm overtired.
Oh, it has to be overtired. I was telling them earlier, I was still up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why. I got hooked on a movie, and then I couldn't sleep. It's like if I get too far past midnight, then I'm in my second day, and it's like, ugh, look at me, I look terrible. Anyways, I've been out in the wind. This has been enjoyable. We'll do it again. Talks to stay awake. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. He gets real talkative. Look at his eyes. Anyways, I'll turn you around. You can say goodbye to the hummingbirds as we say goodbye. And everybody have a wonderful evening. With all this going on, I still managed to make dinner. I've got a chicken in the oven. I've got a couple potatoes from around here. I went and picked a whole bunch of tree-collared and greens, and Anissa stopped me and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm making coleslaw." "Oh, I don't like coleslaw." I said, "Well, I make it differently." She asked me. Chop it all up. You can put any salad dressing you want on it. Now she's going to go make some. So I've been busy, and I made a green drink, which Gary's drinking. See, he's drinking his green drink. It's not thick. It's just the water from the greens.
Yeah.
It's not a real green drink, but it still serves the purpose. It's been straight out of the garden 2 minutes ago. Anyways, everybody have a wonderful evening. Thanks for joining us, and I'll come on in the next few days a little later so you can see more of the hummingbirds. And like even now, there's the Oriole down there. They've been coming in constantly. Let me see. Oh, he just took off. They're more shy. And when I move around the camera too much, that's why it's good when I step away. But this is just, like I said, this was frightening. I was watching something on YouTube, and then the video popped up at one of mine, and it's like, that deck only had 2. And now there's, as you can see right now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the bigger ones, the red ones, they weren't there. 2 months ago, there was 2. And it's not enough. I keep adding and adding, and I ordered more from Walmart and adding and adding. I don't know what all these emojis mean. I see them come across sometimes. But everybody have a good evening, good night, and we'll do this again, don't worry. This has been great. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Say goodbye.
Bye.